Hey everyone! Today I am going to be talking with my beautiful daughter, Nikki, and we're going to be talking a little bit about living in the middle of the woods, in the middle of nowhere, in quarantine. And it's Nikki's first year being homeschooled. And so, yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about that and some projects we're working on. So, hi, sweetie.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good, good. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. It's sunny today, so I'll take it.
It is sun. Yes.
So, talk with us a little bit about your first year being homeschooled. How was that for you, living in the middle of the woods for the first year, right when quarantine started and everything? So, not a lot of friends like you used to have in the city. So, how was that
Yeah.
for you?
It was great. Homeschooling was really, really fun. I learned a ton of cool subjects, and even though we're in the middle of the woods, there's still lots of things for me to do that is actually pretty different than what you can do in the city, you know?
I do. So, talk with us a little bit about those different classes that you were taking on seventh grade that you would never take in regular school.
Yeah, so I was taking classes on how to manage money properly, how to focus on what you're doing and become indistractable, as they put it, how to, meditate and do yoga and things like that for my mental stability. And I am studying neuroscience with Dr. Joe Dispenza. And what?
That was strange.
And I'm also learning how to be mindful of what I bring into my life, what I look at on social media, YouTube, all the things like that. And, just put in realistic ideas in my mind, like the models and stuff, they're very unrealistic. So it takes a really big toll on a lot of girls my age. So I know to stay away from that.
hmm Yeah, that's very important. What we place our attention on, right? Like even for
Yeah.
adults, we learn stuff like that. What are the type of accounts that you are following on social media? Like, how do they make you feel? Do they
Yeah.
uplift
Yeah.
yourself? Do they put you down? Do you feel like the comparison going on? Do you feel not enough, that you're not measuring up? So I guess that would feel you would fit in for your age, the same thing, right?
Yeah, it should be a very big thing for girls my age, even boys, to just watch out for because it's a big thing for the big people or the rich people, per se, the people that control everything, to put very unrealistic ideas and like body images and just very unrealistic. And it kind of makes a lot of girls my age, especially girls, feel like they're not enough and they're not pretty when they are.
Mhm. Yeah, talk a little bit about the food. Like you're volunteering, learning about food.
Yeah, I volunteer at a farm nearby so that I learn what to grow, how to eat food, how to harvest it, what healthy food actually is. Because when we are told eat healthy food at school, they don't tell us what that healthy food is. They just say go eat healthy food, and they expect us to figure it out by ourselves, and that can be quite complicated. Because the big companies like Kraft, they say their food is very healthy, but in reality, it's not. It's just a ton of chemicals. So we should focus more on natural food. As a lot of people say, the more natural you can get it, the better.
Mhm.
So I was learning, or I still am learning, how to cook food, how to harvest it, what type of food is good for what type of things. Like maybe one type of food could be good for arthritis or for pain or anything like that. That's very good to know because then I can take care of my body.
There you go. Learning skills for life in your homeschooling, huh?
Yeah,
That's
very
powerful.
important skills.
Yeah. So talk with us a little bit about your project on teaching that also to kids that you're coming up with.
Yes. So, as I said a little bit earlier, I do meditation as part of my school. And when you meditate, a lot of ideas come up. And I personally absolutely love children. I have like baby fever all the time. I love children and just little kids. So, I had this wonderful idea in meditation to open a school to teach this kind of things to younger kids, because even though it's more common for kids my age to have depression and anxiety and stuff like that. Well, it's because of the way they were schooled that they what's the word I'm looking for? They acquire those things, you know? So then
Develop.
if we teach thank you. So then if we teach them at a young age to like meditate, to be grateful, to be mindful, how to journal, know that judgment isn't okay and that you should accept everyone and yourself for who you are. And it's important to know things like that. So then if we start teaching younger kids things like that, they won't grow up to have depression or anxiety or low self-esteem. They'll grow up and have very high self-esteem and high self-confidence, which is ideal because then they're happy, and when they're happy, everyone else around them is happy.
That's quite cool.
Yeah.
I wish there was such thing when I was going to school, as a little children and as a teenager, as your age. Like
Yeah.
the stuff that I learned, I hear this from a lot of adults also, and I'm one of them. The stuff that I learned in school, I want to say I use a very small percentage of it in my everyday life today. I didn't learn life
Yeah.
skills like this, how to manage money, how to cook, how to
Yeah.
you go to the farm and learn how to harvest your food, and meditation. Dude, if I have gotten into meditation as a kid, that is
Yeah.
quite amazing. It's really needed for kids to learn such life skills since early in life.
And the thing is, when kids my age look at stuff like this, like meditation and cooking and farming, and even just learning how to do things like managing money and journaling gratitude for the day and what happened during that day is a very nice way to express emotions. Because coming from someone like me, I'm not the best at expressing my emotions verbally. So expressing them in my journal helps me understand what is going on in my mind, you know? So like it's a lot of girls my age, even boys, when they look at stuff like this, they're like, "Oh, that's really different. Like I don't want to do that." But it can be really fun. Journaling about your day is super fun, laughing at what happened. And when something bad happened, you get to look at it and like understand what happened. And just it's fun. Farming is super fun. You get to meet a ton of cool people, you get to learn how to grow your own food, which is like super cool. So it's really like you shouldn't be afraid of stuff like this, you know? It's a good adventure, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's very different, but it's pretty cool. And you're right, that's a really good point about journaling and putting your thoughts down
Yeah.
and your feelings and your ideas. This is really like talked about in emotional intelligence, when we get to be able to connect to our emotions and how we are feeling, and be able to name the feelings, see what's going on, be able to process those feelings. It's one of the things that allow the feelings to just pass through, so you don't hold on to things, and then it's what develops the stuff that we're talking about, like teenagers in school, they are depressed and there's anxiety and all those labels of stuff that they have going on with their minds. And once you learn to process the emotions and just allow them to pass through, and you don't hold on to those things, can be very beneficial for those things that are coming up. So on that same page, actually talk with us a little bit about the book that we're putting together to be helpful in that aspect as well.
Yeah, so we're writing a super cool book about how to love yourself basically for it's like a guide for teenage girls to learn that it's okay to be who you are. You should accept who you are and who other people are, and how like I guess it's mostly about normalizing normal bodies is a big part of it, because there are very unrealistic standards out there right now of like having like an hourglass shaped body, which is so unrealistic. If people have hip dips, that should be okay. It's a thing that is looked down upon when it shouldn't be. It's unique. And that makes us unique. And we should be unique. We can't be that supermodel. They're them. We can't be them. They're already taken. We should just be ourselves. Embrace the imperfections, I guess. Embrace them. It makes you unique. It makes you who you are, you know?
Hmm. Yeah, you're right. And all those practices that you were mentioning are very helpful for that inner connection, to connect to our inner truth, our inner power. Those techniques and practices that you're doing for homeschooling are very helpful. So putting that in a book format, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's the thing of like a lot of kids my age thinking it's super hard to do. Like meditation, it can be hard if you just sit there and do nothing. But if you take a good guided meditation and go through it, it goes by like that. It's super quick. And like journaling, for instance, I've been doing it since I was about 8 or 9. It's been a really long time. I've gotten used to it. So I am a little bit more familiar with it, but it's really not that hard to start. I actually just recently got this brand new journal because I just finished filling my last one. It's super easy. Just buy a journal and just jot down what you thought your day was like. It's not hard at all. It's like you probably have the stuff at home to do it. Just go ahead and do it. Just like Nike says, just do it,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah, sometimes it's hard for people to get out of the comfort zone, right? They get so
Yeah.
comfortable doing things in a certain way and everything, and it's hard to bring a new practice in and you start with something new. One thing interesting too, as you were saying, is learning how to set goals, because
Yes. Yes.
putting
Mhm.
that stuff down can be very helpful for them to be able to get the practice in and get used to it.
Learning how to set goals is pretty important. You can do it with a family member or a friend if it's easier. Set some goals together. You can just write on a piece of paper, or even just jot it down in your phone. It's pretty simple. Just write down what you want to get done. It can be silly, like on the weekend, I just want to do my laundry, you know? That was actually one of my first goals. It gets you motivated to start like making up and creating these bigger goals for like more long term life. It starts super simple. And when you do it with someone else, it's like accountability. So for instance, I like to write down my goals with my mom because we live together. It's easier to get them done together. So do it with a friend or a parent or sibling. It's a lot easier to get them done.
Mm-hmm. And you're right about writing even small stuff. Like I saw this somewhere. I was reading about this, that you do the small things as goals like that, but when you check them, it releases the good hormones in your brain that makes you feel good. It gives you that feeling of accomplishment, and it creates the momentum. And then it creates the inspiration and motivation for you to go and accomplish the bigger goals, because you are accomplishing the smaller ones and you have, the check. So
Yeah,
that's
for
really
sure.
great. Like for the weekend, I need to do my laundry, I need to go grocery shopping or whatever it is, and put it as goals. And that's really
Yeah.
great. Allows
Yeah.
that space of accomplishment to get to the bigger ones. So
Yeah.
you do the bigger ones for the month and then for the year.
Yeah, I personally like to do the weekend just so that I can break it down. Like if I have a big project to finish for school or for just like, I like to do art a lot. So sometimes I have something that I want to make for my friends. I just jot that down for the weekend. That's one of my goals. Finish that, make it look pretty, you know? And then I can do the weeks and the months and maybe sometimes even the year,
Mhm.
like New Year's. I was actually listening to this motivation, which is also a very important practice to get into, is listening to motivational videos in the morning. It gets you pumped up for the day, and it like makes you excited to get out of bed in the morning. So I was listening to one the other day, and I do this every single morning. I usually listen to the same one, and it was talking about how almost everyone, when they do New Year's resolution, maybe not almost everyone, but a lot of people, they quit it by January 15th, just 2 weeks. And so it was explaining how when you put a goal down or a New Year's resolution even, that makes you feel so excited that you want to stay up until 3 in the morning and like go on the next day with 1 hour of sleep because you're so excited to do it. That's the type of goal you want to write down because it makes you excited to live. It makes you excited to get up in the morning and go do that thing, you know? It's like people put down stuff like, I want to stop drinking alcohol, but then they don't put the steps to do it. It only works when you do the steps to get to that goal. That's why a lot of people, or I've heard some people just saying, oh, it doesn't work. Well, they might have heard that from someone that doesn't have the initiative to go and do the steps to get that goal. They don't want it bad enough. So if you have the initiative to go do it and like get it, you're going to feel great, you know?
Mhm.
It feels so fulfilling when you actually do it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's a good point. Getting up in the morning, having the goals written down is really helpful for you to get things accomplished. That's for sure. And it's interesting. One of the things that you're saying about when you are doing something that you are really enjoying yourself doing it, how it keeps you motivated and keeps you moving along. It's like I feel like in is the regular schools today, this is one of the things that I feel that it's missing. It's more exploration of what is the kids' talent, what is it that they're into, to explore more of that and get them excited about doing schoolwork, about going to school, because they're exploring that area that they do appreciate, rather than You give them a whole bunch of topics that they don't even want to study, and you're taking them away from doing that thing that they appreciate doing. So it seems like if we can implement more of that in schools, like you were talking about opening your own school, to explore more what is it that this specific kid has as a talent. Let's explore that, let's expand that.
Yeah, I think it's pretty important. Like all schools should have activities like music and art and cooking and just gardening even, and just things like that, that the kids can go hand on, like go put their hands in the dirt and pull the carrot out of the ground and go cook it at home.
Mm.
It's so much better than going to the store and buying them. They're fresher, they can feel the dirt, they get all the nutrients and stuff. And when they're doing stuff like music and arts, I've heard of schools that don't even offer that. And
Mm.
that is pretty, like, to me that's super upsetting. I love music and art. It's like one of my top hobbies. It's so relaxing, and it actually makes you focused.
Yeah.
So it's like it's good to know that stuff. So if you have a passion for playing clarinet, go after that. Go take those classes. Go do that, because you never know, that passion could become your job. And when you're doing a job that you love, you never work a day in your life, is what they say, right?
That's right. And it's interesting what you were saying about the food also. When the kids are involved on growing the food, it's a lot easier to get them to eat the vegetables and eat the fruits rather than the junk food. So that's really great. If we can get them
Yeah.
involved on growing the food, harvesting, washing, doing all the processes with the food, when you put it on their plate, they're more excited about it. They're part of it.
Yeah.
They were part of the growth and everything. So that's the thing. It's like, if we can get the kids to be able to explore more of things that are relevant like that, like life skills like that, things that they do enjoy doing, getting their hands dirty, like you were saying,
Yeah.
I feel like it has the power to decrease these numbers of depression, anxiety, all this stuff that they have going on in teen years. I feel like one thing that I hear a lot when I work with these girls in this age is how lost they are, don't know who they are,
Yeah.
can't really find a thing to like about themselves. I feel like starting by the little ones and exploring something that they do appreciate could, be very helpful to decrease those numbers and get them to, find who they are, what they really appreciate doing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a big thing about what we're expected to do. Like as a female, it's like it's to some families it's just not okay to get dirty, and that shouldn't be the point.
Mm.
If your little wants to play in a puddle of mud, let them go play in the puddle of mud. It's experiences. They know what it is. They know what mud is. It's like it's the standard of boys do the dirty work and girls stay at home and cook. The boy can cook and the girl can go out and be an astronaut if she wants. It shouldn't be like genders like that. If she wants to go into space and explore the moon, let her explore the moon. It's what she wants to do. If the guy wants to be in the kitchen cooking a delicious meal, let him do that. It shouldn't be like this big, oh, boys do that, girls do that. It should be anyone that wants to do that can do that. It's
Mm.
like follow your passion,
Yeah, that's really
which
great.
I think is
Yeah.
very important.
So you think in your school, that's pretty much what you guys are going to do, explore what is the talent of each kid so that you can expand and help them expand that talent?
Yeah, for sure. I've heard stories from multiple high schoolers who don't have time to do anything other than school because of the amount of schoolwork they get. They're studying math until 3 in the morning and then have to study science. Like they shouldn't have to do that. Do that type of schoolwork in school.
Mhm.
And then at home, they should be able to explore. They should be able to go out into a nice hike in the woods and see like a blue jay that they've never seen before. They should be able to go explore stuff like that, and they should be able to have the option to explore what they want to do instead of having to stay up at 3 in the morning and not have time to hang out with their family.
Mhm.
I think that's very important. I've heard a lot that that's what happens with high schoolers and college students. That's why they're so depressed, because they can't do anything other than school or else they'll fail. And failing is this big thing that absolutely cannot happen. And it
Mhm.
shouldn't be like that.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of the way that is taught in regular school. Also, I feel like there's a lot of teaching of competition rather than collaboration, right?
Yes. Yes, we should definitely collaborate rather than like having a competition all the time. Like,
Hmm.
if you like sports and you like competition, that's fine, but you should collaborate in life. Like, for instance, in projects at school, I remember this so vividly. The students were always fighting, like, oh, I want to be this part of the project, and I want to be that person. Like, you should just communicate instead of fighting, just communicate. If someone wants to hold the clipboard and the other person wants to hold the rock, just communicate. It shouldn't be that big of a deal to communicate your feelings to your peers and say, oh, how do you feel if maybe you do this job instead? If you communicate, there would be more acceptance in what you're trying to say.
Right. That's right. So could you use some collaboration with this project that you're starting?
Oh, for sure. Collaboration. Let's see. That's a big subject. Yeah, collaboration, like someone who knows a ton, like someone who's a meditation teacher or even like a yoga instructor would be super cool for the school, because instead of having standard teachers, we can have these people that are professionals in all these different subjects coming into the school and teaching these kids very like unusual things that they would never learn in public school, when it really shouldn't be unusual. It's just taking care of your body and mental health, your physical and mental health. So having collaborations with people that are professionals in all different aspects,
Mhm.
doesn't matter where you come from. I'm sure like we could probably use you, because just having all these different professions, it's gonna open the kids' minds. Like, there's so many kids my age that are so closed minded. They don't want to learn new things because it's like learning is this big, like, during the public school system, they're taught that you have to learn, like you have to do this. So then when they go to school, it's like they're going to learn, and they associate learning with school. And so then learning is bad and boring. And it shouldn't be like that. They should have fun learning. I love learning stuff with you. Like when we do, or when we study the neuroscience to Joe Dispenza, it's so fun. Every kid should look at learning that way. It shouldn't be this big burden of, oh, I just have to do it because I have to become a doctor. To become a doctor, I have to go to so many years of school. It shouldn't be that way. We should be excited to learn.
Yeah, I feel like one of the layers of that too is having the grades, graded tests and stuff like that, put in a lot of pressure with the kids. And I feel like it's one other layer of the competition that we're talking about. Rather the way we do your homeschooling, there's no grades. It's like, you learn throughout the year what you have to learn, and you invest on the things that you're more interested in than things that are really irrelevant for you that you're not going to use. I feel like it takes that pressure off a little bit of the learning thing, and allows you more space to have fun with the learning.
Yeah, that's very important from experience personally, because I went to public school my whole life. I just started homeschooling for seventh grade, which I'm basically done with, and I'm going to go on to eighth grade. And so, like, from experience from all those years in public schooling, it's this really big thing that they just care to see who got the best grades. She got straight A's. She's like the best student, and it shouldn't be like that. Just because you don't understand a subject as well as someone else doesn't mean you're a poor student. You just don't understand it. Maybe you need some extra help on something that just doesn't click in your brain, and that shouldn't be a big deal. Look at all these famous people. All these famous people have been through something super hard. They may have been broke, they may have had super bad grades in school, but still they're successful because they accomplished and went after what they were like passionate for.
Mhm.
If you guys, like, if we keep worrying about grades and, oh, I better get straight A's or else I'll get in trouble,
Mhm.
stop worrying about that. Just follow your passion, and school can obviously help. Like, I know a lot of the things we learn in public school we'll never use, but there are some helpful things. So, I mean, we shouldn't completely dislike school just because parts of it are bad.
Mhm. That's right. Yeah, that might be a good shout out for you, for the people that are interested on helping the kids in these topics that you are talking about, that could partner up with you. You could start
Yeah,
it
for sure.
online until you build your physical school.
Yeah, that's the thing with physical school too. It's very like the school system and going physically just doesn't fit for most schools, especially high schoolers that and college students that I hear all the time, because they have to stay up super late studying and then have to go to school super early to study some more. So all they're doing is studying, studying, studying. They should have some time off at the end of the day, get a good rest, like that's not the word I'm looking for, a good night's sleep so that they can be like charged to go learn some more. They
Mhm.
shouldn't have to not sleep just to make sure that they know what's going on.
Mhm.
That's the thing about online school. Like the thing I'm taking now, I just go in and watch the videos. If I have to do something during the day that's better for me, like if I go a little bit over doing some yoga or meditation, like taking care of my physical and mental health, I don't have to worry about being late to class, you know? That's
Right.
a very big thing about starting my whole school online. It's a lot easier and we can access more children that need this type of help.
Mhm. That's really great. Takes the pressure off. So yeah, if you
Yeah,
want to call in to see, when people are interested to reach out to you and, maybe start with this platform with you online and they could,
yeah.
come and maybe like someone can come and teach meditation and help you with that. Someone can come and teach yoga or something else. If you want to, call out for people that are interested, go ahead. And then we can put your contact on the description and they can reach out to you to help you out with that.
Yeah, for sure. If anyone is willing to help, if you are an instructor in meditation or yoga, just reach out. We'd love to have you as a part of this journey and opening this school because me myself, I think it's very necessary for children to learn these necessary life skills. So if you want to help out, just reach out and we can keep in contact. We'll put my email and phone number in a link in the description. Just reach out and we can chat. See if you want to join our journey.
Yeah. And even other life skills, right? If there's a cook that would like to do some online
Yeah.
classes or something like that, or someone that teaches how to manage money well.
For sure. Any profession, cooking, meditation, yoga, mindfulness, can be a doctor. It's all very helpful. Just reach out if you want to help us on our journey, and we would love the support so much.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining me, sweetie. Thank you for the talk. It was really great to, explore the projects we're working on. It's nice to get this stuff out there and see, we get collaborators and, people assisting and supporting these projects. I'm very proud of you. Everything that you're doing, it's really great. Very proud of your homeschooling and your development, everything that's going on. Thank you so much for being part of this talk. It was really fun.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for inviting me. I had a great time.
Awesome. 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 All right. We'll be talking again soon, probably developing more of these projects and everything. But meanwhile, thank you so much. Enjoy yourself.
Yep.
We'll talk soon.
Talk soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.